When did you decide you wanted to become a firefighter?
I decided well before high school. I think I was in elementary school when I basically was seeing my dad starting to go through it, how he overcame his own obstacles, now retired captain. I always wanted to help others, and I was fortunate enough to see him work through the ranks to get to where he was at. I just didn't think I could do it. I doubted myself. I thought, I'm a female. I compared myself to others a lot, my height and my size, so I just kind of was like, I'm not gonna go for it. I'm just gonna work for something else. And then when I got out of high school, I still thought I still can't pursue the fire service. And I had a lot of influences. A lot of people were saying, I don't know if you can do it. It'll be a big struggle for you. You're small. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just do my general education at ARC. And one day I just had something came to me where I was like, I cannot live the rest of my life knowing I couldn't work towards my dream. So I sat down with my dad and I was like, okay, Dad, do you think I can do this? Like, do you think I can do this? My size, being who I am? And he said, yeah, why not? And that whole time I just thought, man, he had my back the entire time and I didn't even think about it. From there, I went to EMT school at American River, and I ended up going to Sierra College for a Firefighter 1 Academy. Struggle bus through it, just with like throwing a 24-foot ladder, learning how to throw that, learning my technique, passed it, graduated. Then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to paramedic school now. Went to paramedic school, and then I always knew my dream department was Cosumnes Fire. It was my hometown, born and raised. They did a lot for us. I remember going to the Santas and Sirens and doing all the community events there. And so I applied for the 2101 Academy. And I took my CPAT in LA. I had my interview the next day. I had broke my leg during my CPAT. I was doing the dummy drag, and I just misstepped and broke my leg. Drove all the way back to Sacramento, showed up to my interview the next day anyways, and I said, hey, I'm here. I know I won't get the job, but I just I want to be here. Like, this is my dream department. Like, sorry, but we'll give you a practice interview. And I really appreciated my department doing that for me and, helping me out. Then I rehabbed. I went through a lot of obstacles during that time. That was really like a struggle. Then I applied for the next academy after that, after I got healed. I successfully got hired, but during my academy, I had torn my bicep tendon at the very end. And then I unfortunately had to leave my dream department again. And then I just thought, I'm never gonna give up. I gotta keep going. I'm gonna keep going until someone pushes me down and says no more. But even then, I'll still fight. I joined Carlitos Academy, finally made it through and graduated, and it took a lot of years through a lot of mental hardships, a lot of physical hardships, a lot of injuries, but it never stopped me. That department, it holds a special place in my heart.
We get a lot of questions about that here.
Yeah.
With candidates that say, hey, I'm in process, or I've done these things. What do I do now while I'm waiting? And so can you break down what you did while you were waiting?
Yeah, I worked for American Medical Response as a paramedic full-time to utilize my time for the time being while I was healing before I got hired for the next academy. So I worked out there for about 3-4 months. So yeah, that's what I did in the meantime. I just studied my books, my protocols, to become more prepared. I physically had to prepare myself again too, and that took a lot of therapy. That took a lot of like physical therapy. But yeah, finally pushed through with that. So
even though you went through a couple of challenges, you still ended up pursuing your goal of one day being a firefighter for Cosumnes Fire, and today you are.
Thank you.
Super dope.
Thanks so much. Cool. Thank you.
Things are going to happen in your life, so many external forces as you're going through this process, and there's nothing you can do to stop that. My dad passed away when I was young, so I was raised by my grandfather. And he unfortunately passed away the month before I was supposed to start paramedic school. And that was tough because he was my father figure, you know, and to have that person just not be there to see my successes was something that shook me for a long time. Like going through paramedic school, I had to like really button it up, you know, like buckle down and just persevere through all those things. So just letting the youth know, like, things aren't going to be great, you know, but once they are, like, the waters are so smooth right now, and if you can just get through the rough waters until you get to that point, like, it'll be worth it.
I think you're in for a surprise if you think you're going to show up and that this opportunity is just going to happen for you. You are going to have to be able to demonstrate some perseverance at some point during this process, and that's just to get into the academy.
I can't make someone pursue something that they're not really passionate about. And the fire service, in my opinion, you need to have true passion to follow through all the obstacles that one might have to go through. So inspire, but at the same time, it's on that individual.
I graduated high school and went to college right out of high school. And I was like, college just ain't for me. I did a semester and I was like, I'm good. I went back home and didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just know I love people. 1991, I took the test, the first time I took the test for the San Diego Fire Department. And I had no idea what I was doing. I went to some Brothers United still, even to this day, they do test and interview prep. Even with their help, I still was so lost. I didn't really know what I was doing. I got category 2. And that was back when 10,000 people would take the test, right? And so fast forward past the first test I wasn't able to do, and I never gave up the dream. It was something that I always wanted to do, but you know how sometimes life just be lifing. Years passed the time, and I became a barber. I found myself cutting some firefighters' hair and stuff, and then one of my clients one day was like, we're teaching an EMT class at Brothers United. It's just like the Cal-JAC class, that it's a paid for opportunity. It didn't cost me anything. It was convenient. It was in the neighborhood where I grew up at, so that I didn't have to travel far from work. I didn't have to fight traffic. And it was in the evening time. So it was like perfect. It was a sacrifice, but it was perfect. Took the class, got my EMT certification, and then the applications opened. I didn't really know what else to do after that, but it's why I think it's important for people that are in the community, that folks, we have to have a diverse department, because it was that person that I knew that lived in the area that I lived in, that was on this job, that I knew that this was something that I could do, because if he could do it, there's no reason why I wouldn't be able to. And during my EMT class, we had people from the fire service come in from San Diego City that would teach our class, and so we were offered to do a ride-along. So I showed up to Station 32. I went into the station to do my ride-along, and I was very respectful and all this, and I shake his hand. How you doing, sir? I was 27 years old at the time. Walked in the station, and hello, sir, how are you? He said, I'm doing well. How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. He said, let me tell you 2 things. I said, yes, sir. He said, I wouldn't hire you for 2 reasons. Like, this is our first conversation. I'm like, wow. But I'm curious, like, why, right? I want to know why. He said, 1, your hair is too long. Right? My hair was down past my shoulders. And he said, the second thing is your handshake is weak. I know that you're not serious. That's the way folks told you, if you want something, you're going to have to go get it, and you're going to have to make some sacrifices to get it. And so guess what I did when I went home? Shaved it down. So I went home and shaved my hair and came back to the fire station the next time, and everybody was in shock, because I believe that you have to do what you have to do. From deciding to cut my hair and show that I'm serious, every vacation that my children have been on, all the clothes that they wear, my daughter graduating from Howard University in Washington, D.C., go Bisons, you know, and my daughter who's now attending Cal Berkeley, their college will be paid for. And I believe I attribute some of that to because I was willing to cut my hair and show somebody that I was serious. Kudos to everybody's story, but I think that's something that is kind of par for the course for many of the people in the fire service, at least those that I gravitate towards. And no wonder why, like, there's such a camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have, and yeah, we're in the fire service, but there's something deeper. And now that I've heard your stories, I kind of can see where that is. We all share some common bond because of our struggle. That's cool.